So I saw this video on TikTok where this lady was basically going on about when you have the most simplest of tasks to do, yeah, and it takes so much longer than it's supposed to. And then I saw this baker stitch it, and she was going on about when you have a simple cake to do, and it ends up taking much more longer than even one of your most extravagant fondant cakes with all these extra handmade designs. She was making a buttercream cake, and none of it was going to plan. And it reminded me of this cake. It was supposed to be so simple, like spray it gold. How hard is that? Look, I've taken it off 2x speed now. This is in real time, so you can see exactly how long this was really taking me to do. So the thing is, my client obviously requested it to be in gold, and usually I use a spray, and you should just spray it all and it covers it in gold. But that gold only comes in one shade, and I wanted it to be exactly, well, close to how she requested it, which was like an antique gold, which is like this. And I have done one of these before in the past, but I remember it was very, very challenging because the covering, like, okay, so let me talk you through the steps. There is there's options. There's one way, which I did before, is where you paint it gold to get that nice antique gold. But I don't like how the buttercream, if it comes soft, it melts and it doesn't look shiny. I like when it looks shiny. And then I thought, okay, I don't want to use a paintbrush and rub it in because it's going to look matte, which is what it looks like now, which is I'm trying to avoid this matte look. I want it to look shiny, so I decided to puff it on like this, which I have done before, and it turned out fine. So my solution was, okay, maybe it needs some solution in the powder to make it wet, which I did. Look, it makes it nice and shiny, which I wanted, but it has clogged the pipe what I'm pumping the solution out of. So I'm like, okay, this is what I want, the shine, but now it's messy. Like, come on, this shouldn't be so hard. The gold is dripping. Like, why are you dripping? Like, you're a hot cake. Why do you want to be a drip cake so bad? I then resort to painting the cake, which is another thing that I didn't want to do because I don't like how it turns out. I only used it to clean up the drip. End up taking out my airbrush, which I didn't want to do from the beginning. This was going to be the original plan, but I talked myself out of it because last time I used the gold in my airbrush, it ended up blocking it, and it was really, really hard to clean. So I was like, I don't want to use my airbrush. It's gonna be too thick. I used it in the end. It did exactly what I wanted. Look, it's nice and shiny, and it was quicker, so I could have saved all that time. This was the most satisfying part, peeling off the cling film and seeing a nice, clean, white board. But at what cost? Because look at the mess. I had to scrub those tiles. I added the name to the cake, and that was the final look, and it turned out exactly how I envisioned it to be. And after all that, my client sent this lovely message which made it all worth it. That's what it's all for, customer satisfaction. Thanks for watching. Bye.